This is James Solder for iFILM London. I'm in the MEN Arena today in Manchester for the announcement of David Haye versus Emmanuel Char, also for his signing of Matchroom Sport. With me, I've got the main man, Eddie Hearn. All right, Ed?
How's it going, mate?
It's all right. It's all right. It feels a bit weird interviewing you today.
I kind of feel as though I'm being unfaithful, to be honest with you. I mean, big Kugie bear swanning around Las Vegas, trying to give it a big one. See that moody haircut he had as well the other week?
The Sheffield crop.
All the short up the sides, thing down here. So I feel as though if I seem a little bit nervous and uneasy, it's just because I feel as though I'm being a little bit unfaithful to the cuddly Kugie bear.
I can understand that. I feel like I'm with someone else's missus. It just feels very awkward. But we're going to get past this. We'll come back to this. Let's just talk a little bit about, obviously, the main event, Mr. David Haye, Emmanuel Char, and then if you don't mind, we'll come back to our friend that is Kugie Bear.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great fight. My relationship with Adam and David moved very quickly in a short space of time last week. And I said to Adam, in the last couple of weeks, I felt that Emmanuel Char was the fight, not just because he's a good fighter, but he's entertaining, he's a colourful personality, he's got a good story, and that's what sport needs, personalities. Of course, it needs great fighters as well, but I felt that Char was the perfect opponent. So when Adam called me on, I think Sunday, to tell me it was Char, I was over the moon, because now you've got a proper big fight, and excited to be involved with heavyweight boxing. I wanted to sign a heavyweight for a while, and this tie-up with Haymaker and Adam and David is very, very, exciting for us, because I see Haye as the best heavyweight in the world. I really do. I know he lost to Vladimir Klitschko, but I really see him as the best and most entertaining heavyweight on the planet, and I'm delighted to be part of the team.
How long have you been a Haye fan? I know you've spoke highly of David Haye in the past, but is getting him to the Matchroom camp something you've thought about before?
Not really, because he's always been under his own promotional banner, and they've done a very good job in time. I think he's looked at what we're doing at the moment, and we get on very well. Obviously, George Groves is part of the team as well, and I think the combination just makes sense. We can grow together, we can manoeuvre together. Obviously, getting him on the Sky Sports platform was paramount for me to deliver for my broadcaster, but also I think David feels as though this is where he wants to box on Sky Sports. And of course, he's probably got the look of a pay-per-view fight down the line, of course, which every fighter hopes to get to that level of in time. But, for us, it's an honour, really. We've got some great fighters now, the three big fighters, obviously, in Froch, Burns, and now Haye. But underneath, Groves, Barker, Reese, Frampton, Rose, Selby. I always miss one out. And someone
John
Ryder, but there's so many more and so many great young fighters, but someone always tweets me, who's a fan of, last time I met
Cadman, fan of Cadman.
Last time I missed out Ricky Burns, who's obviously, one of our biggest fighters, and one of Scottish boys said, "You missed out Ricky, how can you?" And it's like, we got a lot of fighters, but just chuffed to be a part of Dave. He's a huge name, in and out of boxing. And I think
got box office appeal, hasn't he?
He has got box office appeal, but I feel as though if boxing's going to grow, for David Haye to leave the sport would be a blow for British boxing and for world boxing, because he's an entertainer, he's charismatic, he's got huge crossover appeal, and this is going to be a banging night with a huge undercard as well.
Do you think signing George Groves was a bit pivotal to David Haye joining the camp? Would he have seen what you guys are about up close and personal? Obviously, George has given him a singing praise of what you guys are doing. Do you think that helped?
I think probably the relationship with Adam Booth. Adam runs a lot of the ship with those guys and at Haymaker. And we get on very well. It's straight up, it's real talk, it's everything above line, it's honesty with each other about situations. I think we're all enjoying a relationship. So I think David's probably at a stage in his career where he doesn't want any bullshit. He just wants straight talk and know what's happening, knows what's being delivered. And we're going to do that in abundance for him. So the Groves thing definitely helped, but to have them both is nice. It's an honour to be representing two great fighters in David and George.
What did you make of Emmanuel Char today? Give me an honest opinion.
I think he's charismatic, isn't he? I mean, he's quite an emotional guy. I was sitting next to him.
Highly charged, isn't he?
Yeah, and you're talking about his country and the war, and that's a bit too deep for me. I'd rather stay away.
You're not expecting that?
No, but, when he's going on about stuff like that, you want to just give him a nudge under the table and go, all right, But at the end of the day, we can't put ourselves in the position of someone who comes from a country like that with what's going on in those countries. I don't know enough about it, to be honest with you, but obviously it's pretty heavy shit.
Sounds pretty heavy to me.
Exactly. So, I'm sure he's got an interesting story in his past life, and he's, but he sells the fight as well. He's an engaging character. A lot of fighters, I've been to so many press conferences and I do it, and, you just turn to a fighter and you say, so tell me, about the fight. Yeah, I've had a great camp. I can't wait.
This is the one for me.
Thanks, thanks for that. And on to the next guy. And you need. I keep going on about it, it's getting boring now. You need personalities in sport. People have to have an opinion on you. It doesn't matter whether they hate you or love you. They've got to have an opinion. And people like David Haye, people like Manuel Char, you can have words to describe those people, whether it's emotional, whether it's highly charged, whether it's charismatic, whether it's arrogant. It doesn't matter. But you've got opinions on these people. And Manuel Char is part of that ilk. He's. I like him. I think he's a character, and I think he's a decent fighter. I think he's strong. And what David said, which was very interesting, is he comes to win. So many fighters now, and we even match our guys against fighters who, deep down, they're not really coming to win. They hope they can win, and they'll do their best. But are they really expecting to win and have to win the fight? And with Char, he's going to come to win. And they could have picked half a dozen opponents that would have been credible, but in really deep down not coming to win. But with Char, you've got an emotionally charged, aggressive individual who is at a stage in his career where he must win this to go on and become heavyweight champion of the world. So you're going to get a guy who gives it 120%.
I couldn't put it better. He's ranked, I think it's 8th by the WBC. So again, top 10. It's going to move David up them rankings. Do you envision after this again, David looking to fight? When can we anticipate seeing him again?
I think, depending on how the fight goes, as soon as possible. September, October. Listen, the fight that makes sense financially for both guys is the fight with Tyson Fury. It depends what David wants to achieve. If he wants to be heavyweight champion of the world, maybe that's not the right fight for him. But it's very difficult to turn down a big domestic blockbuster fight like that when you've got millions of pounds on the table, for both guys. And you look at Fury's career, and you think, well, is he going to fight Pulev in a final eliminator? Really? For small money in a tough fight? Wouldn't you rather take millions to fight David Haye? And
would that be a final eliminator?
I believe the Pulev Fury fight is supposed to be a final eliminator. It's my two favourite words.
That's because I'm laughing. Sorry.
Well, it said he final eliminator Hearn, isn't it? But
it just had a little twinkle in my eye when I mentioned it.
Do you know how excited I get talking about final eliminators? Because what people got to understand is a final eliminator leads to a mandatory. That's my second favourite word.
Second favourite.
Mandatory. Because I like to be a mandatory challenger. And when you're a mandatory challenger, no one can take the piss out of you and say, I want 4 options, and if you win, you've got to wear this coloured trousers for the rest of your life and a hat as well. Do you know what I mean? You're your own man, and a final eliminator leads to a mandatory. Let's get my favourite words in one sentence.
To take that. Let's turn to our man Kugie Bear. He's abandoned you, gone to America. He didn't think twice of leaving you. What's your initial reaction to that?
Well, I texted him on. We agreed this deal with David, I think, probably middle of last week, and I kept it quiet because we were going to announce early this week. And I texted him on Sunday night and said, "Are you going to the David Haye press conference?" And he put, "You haven't." And I said, "I have." And he knew because we were on a wavelength, me and Kugie, And he said, "Oh, I'm going to be away. I can't believe it. I'm going to have to send my sidekick, who's not very good, but he's a nice bloke." I think that was you. I don't know.
Kind of can't think who that could possibly be.
He was gutted, but it'd be interesting to see how many views, because when we do our interviews, we only get half the views that me and Kugie Bear get. So I don't know. But
Kugie, on that note, Kugie has asked me to give you a special celebratory message. So I'll just see if I can get this ready for you. Now, Kougan is very sad he can't be here with you, obviously, and he's asked me to wear this special T-shirt for you, just to correspond his love for you. And he's also asked me to give you a Kugie cuddle. So, Mr. Hearn, thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.
We've also got a couple of goodie bags, gifts Kougan's sent over for you. I'm afraid you're not keeping the bag. Even better than that, something that will help you, comfort you, sleep at night. The smell of Kougan. Here we are. What does it smell like?
It's rank. Smell that. It's like.
It smells like beeswax. Can we put it on just once?
I've got the biggest head going. Look.
Same size head as Kougan. Can we just get him in profile?
I look like an American politician. Do you know what I mean?
I think it suits you.
I've got the biggest head ever. That's worrying. That Kougan. There you go. There you go. Poor man's Kougan Cassius.
All I need is a knee pads. Vaseline. I'm away. I'm in.
I like that T-shirt. That's emotional. That is.
I was going to put a switch on the back of it, but I just thought it was too much. What do you think? Does it capture his essence enough?
You know what? If that was a mug shot like on TV, people would be just bricking it all over the country, wouldn't they?
It's kind of a mug shot.
It is, isn't it? Well, he's a mug of a man, isn't he? Bless him. Bless him.
Well, I don't know how I've ended up getting parred off with this Kugie Cassius hat, but Ed, as I said, I appreciate it. Don't worry, your love will be back a week Sunday. We can pick this up. I'll be back with Frank, and we'll take it again.
Cheers, mate.
This is James Holder with Edward Cornelius Hearn for iFILM London. Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.